Gentlemen, you are about to observe your first autopsy. First things first, we uncover the corpse.
You've seen the TV shows, right? CSI, Bones, all those high-tech glossy labs. It all looks so clean, so simple. A neat little mystery solved in 45 minutes. But what happens when an autopsy reveals something strange?
Yeah, that's not supposed to be there.
I'm not talking about a ghost floating over the autopsy table. I mean a chilling, real-life fact. A tiny detail that rewrites the victim's entire story. A detail, like realizing the man on your table was fully conscious as he was crushed to death. Yeah, that's the real job. Dr. Judy Melinek was a rookie medical examiner. These are 3 of her most haunting cases. 3 nightmare autopsies that prove the truth is far more horrifying than fiction. When you're a new ME, you expect to see the classics: heart attacks, car crashes, overdoses, the grim day-to-day work.
You know, just the usual stuff.
But you also get the oddly grotesque, the cases that make you put your pen down, rub your eyes and say, "He did what?" This was one of those. The call comes in, a man fell from a 9-story apartment building. Okay, pretty standard. An accident, or maybe he jumped. The body arrives at the morgue, and the story gets weird. Police at the scene said the guy was a known crystal meth user. On this particular day, he'd managed to lock himself out of his 9th-floor apartment. Now, you or I, we'd be, I don't know, embarrassed. We'd call a locksmith, pay the $100, and never speak of it again. This guy, he had a much better idea.
A real, authentic genius.
He decided he was going to rappel down the side of the building. And his rope, a television cable. Jeez. He apparently found a loose cable on the roof, tied one end to a pipe, and the other end around his own waist. He leaned back, put his full faith in the 1990s standard of coaxial cable. Spoiler alert, it is not rated for a 180-pound human. The cable, obviously, snapped. Dr. Melinek unzips the bag and is greeted with, well, it's what the pros call a total mess. A splat, if you will. This is where the real science begins. When you fall from that height, the human body doesn't just break, it shatters. The first thing she noted was the skull. It was so severely fractured it had, in her words, the consistency of a bag of seashells. And that's a comminuted fracture. It means the bone broke into multiple pieces. Almost every single rib was snapped like a dry twig. But here's the real forensic detail. The ribs had been driven inward with such force that they'd punched through and shredded, well, everything. His lungs were punctured, his esophagus was torn, and most importantly, his aorta, the body's main highway for blood. A tear in the aorta means it's game over. You will bleed out, a process called exsanguination, in seconds.
Horrible way to go.
But the strangest part was the timing. The police assumed he died on impact with the pavement, but the body told a different story. The specific jagged fractures of the ribs, combined with the massive, immediate damage to the aorta, told Dr. Melinek that this wasn't just a deceleration injury from the ground. The second that cable snapped, the jolt, the sudden violent stop and go, was so forceful that it fractured his ribs in midair. The weight of his own organs, still moving down while his torso was jerked up, was enough to tear his aorta. He was likely gone before he even passed the 7th floor. A bizarre, grotesque, and honestly, a pretty dumb way to go. But this kind of case just prepares you. The truly horrifying cases, the ones that stick with you, are the ones that are far more strange, dark, and mysterious. Like the case of the man in the egg roll factory. This next case, this is pure industrial horror. An emergency call from a place you probably don't think about much. An egg roll factory. There's been an accident, a bad one. We're not talking a small oops here. We're talking a full-on action movie-level kaboom. A massive, industrial-sized shredder and mixer exploded. A piece of the machinery weighing hundreds of pounds flew across the room and pinned a worker against a wall. He's brought to the morgue. And this is where the strange detail comes in, the one from the thumbnail, the one that makes you, lean in. Dr. Melinek begins the external examination, and immediately something is very, very wrong. The man's body is destroyed. The sheer blunt force trauma from the machine is catastrophic. We're talking massive internal injuries, pulverized organs, but his head, his face, it was perfect. Not a single scratch, not a bruise, not a speck of blood. How is that even possible? It's a horrifying, strange, and dark mystery. And that, right there, is the most terrifying part.
It makes no sense.
So Dr. Melinek, being a good ME, starts with the obvious. Was he killed in the explosion? She needs to time the death relative to the blast. So she opens his airway. She's looking for soot, ash, any sign that he breathed in the fire and smoke. And she finds nothing. Zilch. His lungs are clean. His trachea is clear. This tells her a crucial fact. He was alive after the initial blast and fire. So what got him? The giant, several hundred-pound piece of metal just resting on him. The machine had pinned him against the wall in a very specific, vice-like way. It had crushed his chest and abdomen. The official cause of death wasn't the impact. It was traumatic asphyxia. He had suffocated slowly as the weight of the machine crushed his lungs. It squeezed the air out of him, inch by inch. And this is the part that gets you. The part that makes this a nightmare autopsy. With a perfectly fine, uninjured head, with a completely functional, unharmed brain, with no smoke in his lungs, he was awake for all of it. He was conscious for every single agonizing second, as he was slowly, methodically crushed. That is the strange detail that haunts a medical examiner. A case like that, it changes you. But for a rookie ME in New York City in 2001, the horrors were just getting started. The next case wouldn't be one body, it would be thousands. This next case, this is the one TV never shows you. This is the decomp. The call comes from a landlord. A tenant hasn't paid rent in a few weeks. Neighbors are complaining about, the smell and a truly unfortunate number of flies. Police do a welfare check and they find him, a man decomposing in his own bathtub. The apartment is sealed up tight. The summer heat is on. It's basically a human pressure cooker. This is the case that separates the rookies from the veterans. The ME team arrives and Dr. Melinek says the smell hits them like a physical wall. It's not just bad, it's indescribable. A thick, sweet, rancid odor that sticks to the back of your throat. They find the man in the tub. He's,
What's the best way to put this?
he's in a bad way. He's in an advanced state of decomposition. The first strange detail is the skin slip. The top layers of his skin have detached from the body, floating in the soupy brown water. His skin came off like a wet suit. Jeez.
It's nasty, nasty.
The team has to scoop the remains and the fluid out with buckets. Yeah, buckets. They get him back to the morgue. This is where the lazy masquerade atmosphere meets that chapter humor. The first thing they do, weigh him. He weighs 350 pounds. But here's the kicker. His driver's license says he's 180 pounds. So where did all that extra weight come from?
From eating too much junk food.
Incorrect.
Simple. He was bloated with putrefaction gases. He was literally full of it. But here is where the real science kicks in. The body showed signs of marbling. This is when the bacteria in your gut start to follow your veins, turning them a dark, purplish green. It looks like a terrifying internal roadmap of your own decay. And the weirdest part, adipocere, it's also known as grave wax or corpse soap. It's a hard, waxy, crumbly substance. It happens when the body's fat, in the total absence of oxygen, chemically changes, it saponifies, it literally turns into soap. So this man, decomposing in his own hot, stagnant bathwater, had begun to turn himself into soap. You can't make this stuff up.
Poetic.
And now the mystery. How did he die? Was he offed? Did he fall? Dr. Melinek has to sift through this human soup, and find an answer. She examines the bones, no fractures. She examines the organs, or what's left of them. And inside his coronary artery, she finds it, a massive blockage. The strange detail wasn't a clue, it was the clue. The final story was simple. The man who had a known heart condition felt sick. He ran a hot bath to feel better. And in that bath, he had a massive, fatal heart attack. He died instantly. And then he just stayed there for 3 weeks, becoming a science experiment in his own bathroom.
What? 3 whole weeks?
3 weeks?
I can't imagine what it smells like.
That is the job of a medical examiner. It's not just solving the case. It's wading through the horror to find the truth. Working stiff, 2 years, 262 bodies. The cable guy, the factory, and the decomp in the bathtub. That is what it really takes to be in me. That's the job. A strong stomach, a sharp mind, and a sense of humor. As dark as the morgue itself. If you'd like to read more stories from Dr. Julie Melinek, you can check out her book available on paperback or audio through Amazon Audible. Please see my affiliate links in the description to get your own copy. I hope you enjoyed another story on Sloppy Medicine. Please, if you have a story you would like us to cover, leave a comment. Check out the other stories on this channel. Until next time, stay safe, stay informed,